Hey guys, and welcome to this week's Cloud Gaming Roundup. So there's been quite a few things going on for Google Stadia and some pretty big news for GeForce Now as well. There's also some really cracking Stadia deals going on at the moment that are worthwhile having a look at if you're looking at getting Stadia onto your big screen TV. So let's get on with it, shall we? So Google Stadia has seen a couple of new game drops this week. So we've seen FIFA 22 and also a Addams Family Mansion Mayhem, which is an interesting looking title. But the big standouts are the new pro games. So in the pro games for October, we are seeing Spirit Lucky's Big Adventure, Hello Engineer, which is available first on Google Stadia, Cake Bash, a party game where you play sweet treats and have just random battles and looks absolutely just crazy fun. Mafia 3 lands in a surprise drop, and Control Ultimate Edition is also available as well. Originally, we were going to be seeing Unto the End, which is like a cinematic platformer. However, that's now been delayed till December. So if you were looking forward to that in the October release, unfortunately, we're not going to be getting it. So whether or not Mafia 3 was going to be coming all along, or if that's to replace Unto the End, we have no idea, but there are at least a few good games out available as the pro subscription this month. Stadia also saw a new feature launching in their phone link, which basically allows you to use your mobile phone with your big screen TV as like a little controller, so that way if you didn't have a controller to hand and you wanted to be able to play it on your TV, you'd be able to link up your phone and play it that way. You don't really get that tactile feel, but I guess at the end of the day, if your controller's out of battery or broken or you just don't have one, it just gives people another way to play. One of the benefits is if you hook up something like the Razer Kishi, which plugs into the phone, you should be able to use that with your TV, which is a pretty neat feature. Now, moving on to the Google Stadia deals, the big one is if you spend $59.99 or more on any games up until October the 10th, including pre-orders, then you will all get a Stadia Premiere Edition sent through to you. So you'll be sent a redemption code by October 20th after making your pre-order or purchase, and then you'll be able to basically get your Premiere Edition. So a pretty neat way to get hooked up to the big screen TV and get something like the Google Stadia controller. So if you have been eyeing up that edition, it's worthwhile maybe getting a pre-order in there. Personally, we've just ordered the new Far Cry because it just looks a lot of fun, and at the end of the day, if we're going to get the Premiere Edition as well, may as well give it a go. So let us know in the comments, are you interested in that deal? Is it something that excites you, or are you just not bothered because you've already got the hardware, or you just not bothered at all? And the final little bit of interesting news for Google Stadia is Monster Hunter Rise might make an appearance. So Capcom have been basically sending out surveys to all of their different customers who would be interested in Monster Hunter Rise and asking would they like cross-play with things like the Nintendo Switch and progression and stuff like that. But also one of the interesting things is they asked whether or not people would want to be able to get it on the cloud gaming platform Google Stadia. So at least it shows they're taking some kind of interest. Whether or not that actually translates into them bringing it over, who knows? Hopefully Resident Evil 8 was a massive success for Capcom, and that might kind of push them to actually bring some of their other titles over, but only time will tell. Obviously it's just a survey at the moment, doesn't mean anything at all, but hopefully we get to see that title on there. Moving on to the other big news, and that is GeForce Now. So there wasn't a massive amount in terms of non-EA titles, but the clue is right there in that introduction. So EA Games seems to be going pretty hard on GeForce Now at the moment. So they are bringing over Battlefield 1, Dragon Age Inquisition, Unravel 2, and Mirror's Edge. So even though they're not the most up-to-date titles, Nvidia had quite a lot to say about it, and they seemed very excited about it. Whether or not that's just because they've got new games coming across, who knows? But at the end of the day, having those titles from EA kind of makes a pretty big splash because a lot of people tend to be clamoring for these. And when you look at the cloud gaming space, when it comes to EA, things like Game Pass and xCloud are going to get access to the beta for Battlefield 2042. Now EA is getting some of those games onto GeForce Now, but Stadia is kind of left in the dust, and that seems to be one that every time I go into any kind of forum or you guys speak in the comments, you always talk about wanting to see something like Battlefield on Google Stadia. So it's a big win for something like Nvidia GeForce Now. If they can start getting the Battlefield franchise onto GeForce Now, and then again the same with Microsoft and xCloud, it really gives them a bit of an advantage in terms of that library. Now obviously not everybody's going to be after EA games, but at the end of the day it certainly makes a dent, and especially in that advertising and getting out to, I guess, those gamers out there who just aren't really taking cloud gaming seriously at the moment. It might start to bring some of them across. At the end of the day, it's a win for cloud gaming because it gets people using it, because some of their more up-to-date titles are there. So yeah, we'll see how that progresses. It'll be interesting to see what EA games come to Nvidia GeForce Now next, or any of the other cloud gaming platforms. So that wraps up this week's cloud gaming news. There were some other titles that launched for GeForce Now as well, and we'll have those up on the screen so you can see them. Nothing really jumped out at us as being like crazy interesting like the EA titles were, but at the end of the day, your taste may vary and you might see some stuff on there that you really want to play. Let us know what the most interesting bit of cloud gaming news was for you guys. Throw that down in the comments and let us also know what you're playing. We're going to be trying out Control at the moment, so I started playing that last night when it landed on the Pro subscription, and we're going to have a review up of that probably not this Monday, but the Monday after. So if you are interested in seeing how that performs and what that looks like, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and come along for some more awesome content. In the meantime, stay safe and we will see you soon. Bye.